And after pulling out this crazy transformation, the only explanation we get from this man is, "For a second, I felt like I was Greninja."
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man. No, I'm
Hey, welcome to chapter 2 of the Coldest trilogy, and hey, don't worry if you ain't seen chapter 1, you can watch these two in either order, cause today's story runs parallel to 𝙏𝙤's. If 𝙏𝙤's the coldest trainer in Pokemon history, today's topic has a high case to be the coldest Pokemon, so sit back and relax as we cover Greninja's path to greatness. Let's get to it with chapter 1, Freaky Ass Frog. Now let me tell you right now, you don't just get this type of aura overnight. Niggas knew since he was a youth that he was destined for greatness. And let me show you why. You see, despite the chill Greninja look with the covered face and straight posture, Froakies don't actually start off this nonchalant. They're actually extremely chalant. Every Froakie likes to sing, likes to dance, they just like having fun in the sun. Every Froakie, except this one. He posted up in the back on this rock knowing since birth that while the others were frolicking in their frubbles, my man was training on some shinobi shit. Take punch, punch, punch. Brother, you live in a resort. You have no ops. But the funny thing about being unique is niggas start to get mad at you. His homies pulled up like, "Oh, what are you training for, you silly goose? We live in a sanctuary. Forget all that ninja stuff. Come to the pool." But our Froakie wasn't having any of it. He was like... And long story short, it just got to the point that the Froakie village got tired of this vibe terrorist and decided to jump his ass out the village. So after getting shamed out the Chalant Froakie Alliance, our frog decided the only path left for him in life was to put himself up for adoption, aka become a starter Pokemon, and just pray that some caring trainer would come along and change his broke ass life. But unfortunately, these trainers were almost as weak as his ex-homies. You got niggas with no battling XP, no colored hair, no swag, no aura, man. That's what we talking about, ain't it? And these bums were so deprived of sauce that Froakie couldn't even go a week on an adventure with these trainers before either leaving their bum asses to come back to the professor or be returned by the trainers themselves, complaining that, "I don't know, Sycamore, he just doesn't fucking listen. Let me just swap him with Fennekin or some shit. Maybe then I'll be able to beat Viola's bug gym." And from this graphic, this shit happened at least 8 times. But of course, all this Tinder trainer edition stopped when he finally met the kid. He saw this motherfucker drop out of Prism Tower after trying to challenge the Lumio City Gym with a grand total of 0 badges, and like a cheesy high school movie went, this kid's got spunk. So he stalked Ash, and stalked, and stalked, until he finally saw something that cemented that this dude right here is a real ass nigga. You see, Team Rocket jumped Ash as he was in a battle with Clement, and after he took this massive hit from a Wobbuffet Mirror Coat, he delivered one of them speeches. Clement was like, "Ash, don't you know Mirror Coat reflects special attacks that double the damage? We'd be better off forfeiting." But Ash was like, "Hell nah, Clement, I might be stupid and rash and have an aging problem and have plot armor and make poor choices and never wash my clothes and don't really know how to build a team, but one thing is for certain, I've never been a bitch." And that's what did it for him. Froakie was so inspired that before Wobbuffet could return with another Mirror Coat, he jumped in and tanked that shit. Do you know how bad a double-powered Electro Ball from Pikachu would hurt a level 5 Froakie? But it don't matter because he got that frog in him. So he leaps towards Meowth and says, "Froakie, bro," which gotta mean, you better get your bitch ass on somewhere. Then soars into the air, sends his Frubbles that bypass the Mirror Coat, because it isn't actually a move, to get these bitch ass niggas blasting off again. So now, Froakie was definitely interested, but with 8 flops, it'd take a little more for him to know Ash was the one. So fast forward a bit, and Team Rocket has now brainwashed Sycamore's Garchomp and caused it to rampage throughout Lumio City. So Super Ash over here, of course, went to go handle it, and Froakie tagged along. And he ended up seeing this man climb up to Prism Tower, try and talk no jutsu this unstable land shark, and avoid attacks like one gust of wind couldn't turn him to Ash Ketchum. That type of dedication is contagious, so when Garchomp took one too many steps back and almost fell off this bitch himself, Froakie used his Frubbles to keep him planted while Pikachu iron-tailed the brainwashing collar off his neck. But then Froakie saw something that cemented Ash as the one. Pikachu fell off the tower, and with 0 hesitation, Ash dove off that shit like an Olympic diver, bitch. These niggas can't believe their eyes. And that's that, bro. He said, "Oh nah, this nigga's him." So after Ash got his dex and was about to set off on his adventure, Froakie stood at the gate, nodded his own Pokeball to him like, "You know what time it is, bro." And this is how you know he was fiending. No battle, not even a gestural toss from Ash. My man jumped towards that shit and pressed the button his damn self. And since that day, they've been locked in. Extremely locked in, some may say. But we'll get to that soon. Now, even though Froakie was OD eager to get onto the team, he still didn't really know how to be a team player like that. probably because of his loner past, and his record with Ash to start was straight booty. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, my guy was a loser, and it started with this fucking fletchling. You see, as they're walking on Route 4, this wild 𝙏𝙖 dropped a berry on the gang's head and Bonnie instantly fell in love with it. But the moment she's about to return the berry back to Teemu Pichu, this fletchling swoops in with vim, flaps up to this branch, puts his foot on the berry like TT at the corner flag, and gobbles it in front of them. Nah, this bird is a prick, fam. Then he starts taunting like, which gotta be code for get back, nigga. Froakie seen the absolute scenes that this caused and said, oh nah, I'm gonna handle this shit myself. And despite Ash wanting to deal with it with, you know, his demon electric type, Froakie leapt up himself just to end up shit was bad, bro. They had to hold my guy back. Luckily, once Froakie deeped that he got a whole trainer to handle the strategy part of battling, he was able to get his get back later. My man was able to chase the fletchling around, dodge his attacks. He even used the decoy made of Frubbles to get him caught in place to hit him with the stare of doom and bubble it down until Ash was able to catch it. I'm thinking, wait a minute. This slimy little guy battles with some swag. Surely we can string some dubs together. But nope, he lost his very next battle. Peep this battle against his kindergarten teacher named Penelope and her Sylveon. Now this battle had a ton on the line now, because Penelope said, I'll tell you something, sugar. If I beat you in this battle, you gotta come with me, sweetie.
Get this cougar away from me, Steve.
Hey, fucking yo. Froakie, you cannot fold my guy, and he tried his best. After taking a nasty fairy wind into a tree, he was on some shinobi shit and knocked these apples towards Sylveon. She hit it with that 64 palms, but it was just a decoy, and Froakie came down and slammed a water pulse from the top ropes. But as soon as Ash gets Froakie to close in for the final move, Sylveon, use attract. Oh hell nah! Oh hell nah! A direct fucking Cupid arrow to the domas. But could such a vain move really break the loner nonchalant frog who's about his business? Absolutely. Hey, we all got hormones, man. Not only did she ever do it the most, but she close didn't kiss the nigga. This level of oral loss had him vexed all day. He had no choice but to spend his time out his Pokeball farming that shit back like, aight, my nigga, we see the fit. Plus, he can farm that shit as much as he wants. It's not gonna erase the L's he's taken already. My guy's got all the flare and dribble moves in the world, but it's not translating to winning. Even the fletchling, you ain't get his HP to 0. You got it to the red for Ash to catch. So it's clear that Froakie is in need of a good old-fashioned training arc. If he's gonna lock in on some real demons later on, we can't be losing to fodder, my guy. And luckily, a few days later, the perfect sensei came to their aid. You see, Ash and Froakie were training by this waterfall when out of nowhere they're here.
That shit is weak.
And I kid you not, this voice came from a literal ninja named Sanpei and his Frogadier. Not one of those ninja wannabes from the games either that'd hide behind the cardboards. Fuck these guys, by the way. I'm talking this guy is a real ass ninja. So you already know Ash didn't waste no time, and he instantly starts talking shit like, wow, a ninja. How about some frog versus frog, pussy? I think you mean frog versus frog. We're not in the same tax bracket, little nigga, but we'll give you the pity fight. And this fight was just pitiful. I ain't gonna lie, this is the most big bro versus little bro shit I done ever seen in my life. He dodged his bubbles, he dodged his pounds, he toyed with him with smoke screens, he even got his ass with a decoy. This man Froakie even closed his eyes to sense his presence, and still fell for it. His water pulses pulsed harder, his quick attacks attacked quicker, and in the end, it was only the mercy of Sanpei that stopped him from sending Froakie to the fucking frozen isle. I mean, they lost so bad that Ash had no choice but to bow down like, please put me on, big bro. I've never seen a quick attack so quick. And you know that glaze had Froakie burning. Look at my man, literally shaking from rage. Like, my nigga, where is our pride? The groveling worked enough for Sanpei to agree, and he set out to train them. They go from jumping, to walking on water, to branch hopping, and whole time Frogadier is just hating. Niggas never want to put you on. A full day of training passed, but somehow Froakie's quick attack was still too slow. So when it got to crunch time versus Team Rocket, Froakie just said, fuck it. If I can't outspeed these niggas, I'ma just outsmart them. And miraculously whips out a double team instead. I don't really know how the logistics of this shit works, but I digress. Either way, Sanpei blessed this duel with some sauce, and it wasn't long before they had to return the favor. You see, some weeks later, while Ash and Froakie were training again, they found the homie Sanpei knocked unconscious, drifting down a river. And after they nurse him back to health, he explains what the hell's going going on, like, them niggas jumped me, Ash. Who did, big bro? Me, nigga! And this Shift 3 masked ninja and his barbarical burst onto the scene. Turns out Sanpei was being hounded down by this man who had instructions to beat his ass and retrieve the scroll that Sanpei had to deliver to a nearby village. So clearly Sanpei and his newly evolved Greninja got put in a body bag. So as you can probably guess, our freaky ass frog was no match either. So Sanpei had to whip out his jutsu and they skedaddled. But you can't run forever. And later on, after Ash and them get Sanpei near their delivery destination, the masked ninja jumps them again. I ain't gonna tell you again. Pass me that motherfucking scroll.
We not giving you shit, old timer.
And I mean, these boys tried everything. The double teams, the iron tails, the cuts. This really the big three in this bitch. But when this barbarical slammed his claws into the ground for that mud slap, that didn't just blind Pikachu, didn't just blind Greninja, but sent this little frog into the debris damn near unconscious, it was looking grim. And as Barbarical closed in menacingly for that final poison jab dagger, Froakie helplessly watching from the rocks, there is only one way out of this. Yes, sir! That bluey evolution hits every time, and you already know that buff came in clutch. Barbarical's Razor Shell now clashed perfectly with Frogadier's cut. My nigga even learned Aerial Ace. This shit's not very effective, of course, but fuck it. Ha! Ha! Evolution buff trumps all, and that boy sent him to the ground. And look at it was the dawn of a new era. And with that, we shall move on to chapter 2, Ninjas in Paris. And let me be the first to tell you right now, this teenager right here was generational. After wrapping up the saga with the masked ninja, who ended up being Sanpei's mentor, who was actually testing him all along, but don't worry about that shit, Frogadier knocked out not one, but two of Ramos the gym leader's grass type Pokemon. I know he learned Aerial Ace, but damn bitch! _𝙏𝙖 the flying type got no kills, by the way. I know Frogadier was feeling nice. Quick aside, but you know he never fucked with that man. Every time they'd be in a double battle, he'd be given the classic, not this nigga, side eye, cause he thought _𝙏𝙖 would be doing too much. Like, boy, you was not Rey Mysterio. But anyways, the Frogadier, every goat needs a rival to keep him sharp. And Frogadier was about to meet the first of many. Sawyer. Man, how the fuck am I supposed to say a name like Sawyer with some sauce? Anyways, Sawyer's this trainer from Hoenn that is just remarkably cheeks at battling. But the only thing bigger than them baggy ass shorts he be wearing is that noggin. That man's a true student of the game, always whipping out that notepad to jot down when he learns from his mistakes, like, how peculiar! Using my Mega Drain left Trico vulnerable for a swift counterattack. Super admirable, yada yada yada, but right now he's ass. Ash and him meet at the Laver City gym, and neither of them can challenge it because it's closed, so they decide to battle each other instead. Now, _𝙏𝙖 and Sawyer's Bagon were there too, as it's a double battle, but what really matters is Sawyer's main partner, Trico. This was a generational matchup in the making, but as of now, Frogadier showed him levels. Sawyer tried hitting that super effective bullet seed like a nerd ass goody two shoes, but Frogadier dodged the first, and for the second, he hit that weave into the fair fucking play, bro. That's all day.
OMG, big bro, your battling style is so fiery and spontaneous. Hopefully one day I can be even 1% as good as you.
Yeah, zip it up when you're done, big man. But let's just say that ain't the last we finna see this matchup. Ooh, how ominous. You wanna see real ominousness? I got you. Fast forward to Olympia at the 7th gym. The details of the battle itself are for a different vid, but just know Olympia, in addition to a gym leader, is also a fortune-telling psychic. So after the battle, she gives Frogadier and Ash a free fortune-telling session. I can tell you right now, honey, that frog of yours is one of one. Y'all better do some shit the streets ain't never seen before.
Are we gonna Mega Evolve?
Mega Evolve? Sycamore, what you teaching these youngins nowadays? Mega Evolve? Hell nah, you not doing that shit. Slow your ass down. So with confusion on the mind but a gym badge in hand, it was time to enter the Ninja Village arc of our froggy friend. Hence the name of the chapter. You know, Kalos is in France and ninjas. Y'all get it. And this is where shit gets sticky. And to understand the magnitude of it all, we must first understand the politics of Ninja Village, aka Sanpei's home. So at this point, the head of the village, or the chief, is a man named Hanzo. Ippei, Sanpei's eldest brother, is next in line as chief, and his coronation is happening tomorrow at the annual Ninja Festival, hence why the gang is visiting in the first place. However, there's also a rival group of ninja rebels called the Ninja Corps, led by a man named Kagetomo. Now, Kagetomo was actually meant to be next in line as chief, but as 𝙏𝙖 did with Tai Lung, Hanzo deemed Kagetomo too arrogant and power hungry, thus he was exiled permanently from the village, leading him to create the Ninja Corps with his main goon, Heidayu. And today is the day that they were planning on raiding the Ninja Village and forcing Hanzo to forfeit his position to Kagetomo Kagetomo instead. Basically, shit was going to go down. So, Ash and them pull up to the village, meet all the guys, and start touring around where they learn some very crucial lore. You see, deep underneath the village there lies a monument, dedicated to the fabled village Pokemon heroes that protected the ninjas during the ancient Civil War. It was a legendary trio of a Staraptor, a Heatmor, and a Greninja.
That Greninja looks funny.
But before they could inspect the shrine any longer, a flock of samurai swoop in on the village and Skarmory starts shooting it up with flash cannon. And before long, the masked ninja corps infiltrated the chief's room and kidnapped Hanzo. Ash and Sanpei are in hot pursuit, but in their way walked out 𝙏𝙖𝙥.
Listen here, runts. Nobody touches the great, powerful, muscular, girthy Hanzo, except for me.
You's a freaky ass nigga!
So they get to battling to stall for Hanzo, and out comes Bisharp to face the same big three that took on Barbarical. And like last time, Bisharp wiped the floor with these niggas. That Shadow Claw went 3 for 3. Frogadier tried responding with them weak ass bubbles. This ain't the time for a bubble bath. My nigga, you too grown for that shit now. Shit was getting so tragic that Saizo, the masked ninja senpai from before, had to swoop in and bail them out. But 𝙏𝙖𝙥 said that ain't no problem. He bought all the time he needed for Kagetomo to escape the village with Hanzo. So as Kagetomo was trying to blackmail Hanzo into announcing himself as the next chief on top of this nearby Otori mountain, their location becomes compromised by a village scout, and this newly formed rescue team sets out to retrieve him. But who's waiting for them at the base of the mountain?
I thought I told you youngins nobody touches the great, powerful, muscular. We get it.
So it's officially rematch time, but it starts off exactly as before. This time with Fury Cutter smacking away all 3 of these motherfuckers. This ain't no damn big 3, bro. This is a little 3. Like, look, they go in to try some coordinated 3-man weave shit, and this man just snarls with that and just knocks them all back. This shit is over, bro. I can't watch this. And then 𝙏𝙖𝙥 calls ISO.
Yes, the little yellow rat. Finish him with Shadow Claw.
And that Shadow Claw would have been enough to send my man to the Shadow Realm. Unless... that's why he's the GOAT! Greninja has arrived! With a water shuriken strapped to his waist, tongue around the neck, ready to go. But ladies and gentlemen, the theatrics were not over. What am I even looking at? A water-veiled, slightly different version of Greninja, but there is no time to inspect it.
I can't let you win. Kagetomo must become the chief. Shut your glazing ass up.
And Greninja soared in with a cut, finished off Bisharp for good.
What the fuck just happened?
I wish I knew the answer at that point, but it's looking awfully familiar. Meanwhile, 𝙏𝙖𝙥 ends up winning the 1v versus Kagetomo, and the power of friendship turned him into a good guy. 𝙏𝙖𝙥 became the village leader, and everyone lived happily ever after. Well, almost everyone. You see, there are still many unanswered questions about what the hell we just witnessed in that battle, and a very glaring problem was about to present itself. You see, en route to Snowbell City for the last gym battle, the guys find themselves in Terminus Cave where they get jumped by Team Flare, who are after Squishy. Not too much on them ones though, I ain't trying to spoil nothing yet, but just know Greninja came out to handle this situation. And after a bit of back and forth, the mysterious water-veiled form came out again, and the man put belt to ass. But in addition to this increased power, Ash found that 1, he could see the battle through Greninja's eyes in this form, and 2, when Greninja took hits, Ash felt that shit his damn self, to the point where after the battle was up, both of them fell to their knees. And starved for explanation, the only reasoning we get from this man is,
for a second, I felt like I was Greninja.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man.
man, that nigga tripping, bro. But regardless, the form was an obvious level up. And you know, when you level up like this in life, high profile people start to take notice. And that brings us here. No, I ain't talking about Sawyer, but just bear with me. Ash was giving him his bi-weekly beatdown, and towards the end of it, we get Greninja versus Sawyer's newly evolved Sceptile. Mind you, they had another recent battle where Frogadier pushed Trico into evolving into Grovyle just to still beat his ass, making him 2-0 up on him, and this time was no different. After applying some pressure with them super effective leaf storms, the forearm comes out, and an aerial ace does the job to leave that boy knocked with his tongue out. But like I said, it ain't just Sawyer's attention that was caught, it was the man watching the whole battle. Yeah, I told y'all they finna link up! And with no Mega Evolution energy propping up on his Mega Ring, Alon was shook. So a bit later in the evening, after helping save Pikachu from Team Rocket, he decides that he's gotta battle this thing. You're not bad, kid.
Thanks, mister. By the way, I couldn't help but notice your Charizard's.
Yeah, I know my shit, Icy. Now let's battle, buddy. And make sure to use that frog of yours.
I was actually gonna use my Pikachu.
Use the fucking frog, nigga!
Okay.
Finally, we get to see this matchup. And even the cameramen are on time, and who are you posing for? Greninja whips out the water shuriken, but Charizard slices it down with Dragon Claw. Greninja follows up with Cut, but Charizard dodged around before sauteing my man with Flamethrower. The whole time Alon is speeding for the transformation like Hisoka, like, I know you're holding back, and decides, fuck this, I need express shipping, and ups the ante with that Mega Evo.
Oh my god, it's shiny!
This nigga. So they parry their first attacks, and Greninja goes for double team just for Charizard to burn them all down. And then Charizard whipped out a move we hadn't seen yet. Used Thunder Punch, and landed not one but two of them holes! And this was enough to activate the form, but still, nothing on the ring. And they get to it. An Aerial Ace straight to the dome before Charizard lands, and they parry with Aerial Ace and Thunder Punch. But Blast Burn. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit put Greninja in an absolute pack. Damn. So first Greninja L in hand, it's safe to say the transformation was cool, but it definitely ain't invincible. I'd go as far as to say it was a broken bond. So it was time to learn what's going on with this transformation and how it even works. And this was Clement's cue to finally be useful. And he makes a machine that'll track Ash and Greninja's vitals throughout a battle with him to try and figure this shit out. And as they get to it, it's obvious that Greninja and Ash were kinda in sync, but for some reason, that shit was not activating. But then who else but the man himself pulls up while the battle's happening and breaks down the missing piece. You do know that form only activates when the pressure's at the highest, right?
Alon, of course I know that.
And you thought Clement was the guy to take you there?
Hey!
Get back to the machine, Four Eyes. I'll take it from here. And long story short, boom! Yeah, the pressure was definitely higher. After Greninja gets his shit rocked for a bit, Ash and Greninja get in sync perfectly and cinema begins.
Eureka! My hypothesis was correct! Their vitals are perfectly in sync!
And this time they were going way crazier. Thunder Punch from the heavens, too slow, hold that. Alon can't even hold in his excitement. This is exactly what I was waiting for. This is that shit right here. Rah! The intensity's rising, Ash is feeling the hits, but then all of a sudden, they're starting to desync!
Oh my god, I'm frozen! What's going on? I can't breathe. My heart's racing. Greninja?
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in battling history, Ash has fainted. He literally passed out. What the hell is this transformation? After some time in the Pokemon Center, Alon affirms that he may have lost had Ash stayed awake. But we don't give handouts on this side. That's back-to-back L's now. So now obviously, from realizing that shit goes south when they fall out of sync, they start training together in a forest to try and stay one with each other. And just as they're trying to get their swagger back, who drops in on them? But Champion Diantha. Hey Ash! I heard you have a Mega Greninja. Care to show me? And I guarantee if anyone else asked, he would have said, nah, we're trading. But the queen?
Yeah, well, it's not really a Mega, but I'd be happy to show you, Champion Diantha. Anything for you, my lady.
My lady? Are we fucking serious? So they get to it, and we quickly learn that Diantha has the unique ability to instruct Gardevoir in battle completely telepathically. She can just use her eyes and she'll teleport around. After the battling intensity rises, eventually they get in sync and transform. And after putting some belt to ass, Diantha was forced to Mega Evolve. They start with Water Shuriken and Shadow Ball, then Gardevoir reflects a cut attempt. Ash is forced to take a faster pace, talking about faster, faster. The intensity is rising, the vitals are quicker, and before long, oh my goodness, the water veils dropped and the full form is revealed. Hold on now, bro, is this man cosplaying as Ash? Hey bro, I digress.
Water Shuriken!
And my man sent this massive shuriken and gut-checked Gardevoir into the dirt. And as the final cut is called by Ash, a W against the champion on the line, my guy passes out again. Brother, right on the edge of this breakthrough in the form, he catches another loss. That is 3 L's in a row. This shit is a trend at this point. My guy's loss streak didn't just slip. It slipped and slid and slipped some more. You know when you're missing shots and you just gotta go take a lay to get back in the groove, you know, get your form right? That was this 4th fight against Sawyer. And Sawyer, of course, wasn't gonna say no. He was like,
oh, hot diggity dog, another opportunity to improve against my goat.
So after some serious fight choreography and some nimble hand-to-hand combat, a Leaf Storm had that boy on the ground, which meant it was prime time. There went Greninja, faster and faster, but they just couldn't sync up, and this had Ash spiraling.
Where's the transformation? How did we ever even do it? Is my name even Ash?
With the vulnerability from the shock obvious, Sawyer went in with that Leaf Blade And holy fucking shit, ladies and gentlemen, this man just lost to Sawyer. And God, this is why you can't lose to some niggas.
Holy shit, we won! Sometime we beat the GOAT! Does that make us the new GOAT? Hey Ash, are you proud of me? yeah, you alright, little nigga.
Yeah, I know that shit stings, but he don't even got time to sulk cause he got his final gym battle right up next. For the record, Sawyer already beat this gym and he tagged along to watch, so the pressure was definitely on to perform. Now the details again are for the ranking video, but let's just fast forward to 𝙏𝙖 versus 𝙏𝙖. 𝙏𝙖 was actually leading his shit going into the transformation, but more than ever, Ash was feeling the pain and Sawyer's face was just burning in this man's head, to the point where Ash said fuck the game plan and just forced some brute follow-ups until 𝙏𝙖 bit him with Ice Fang, spun him with Gyro Ball, and sent him flying into the corner, leaving them both finished. 5 fucking losses in a row. Are we serious right now, Ketchup? Even Sawyer had to cut after that like,
damn, do I even feel nice about beating this guy anymore? My GOAT might just be washed. How do you choke a battle when you're up after you transform?
but this shit didn't just get to us, or 𝙏𝙖 or Sawyer this time. 5 in a row is OD even for Ash, and he decides to go on a solo walk in the woods while 𝙏𝙖's recovering.
Sorry guys, I want to be alone.
Understandable, Ash.
Don't forget to take you too, Pikachu.
Aw, hell nah. That boy depressed. He spent the whole night out in the woods just thinking to himself,
damn, maybe I am washed. Losing to Wolf freaking a lot is one thing, but Sawyer's weak ass?
whole time 𝙏𝙖 escaped the Pokemon Center and is doing the same thing, just reflecting on his L's. Eventually, after a rescue team got put out, Serena finally finds him and goes, hey Ash, you know you can talk to me, right? Trust me, I get it. Sometimes in my performances, I get in a rut too. When you're not in your groove, it can feel like the whole world is just against me.
Bitch, you wouldn't get it!
Okay, who the fuck you calling a bitch, bitch? Just open up for once.
It's none of your fucking business.
So she just pelts this man with snowballs, completely deserved, misogynist, and runs away crying, which weirdly Loki snapped Ash back into it. Some time passes and a blizzard starts picking up, and when he's seeking shelter, he invites a bunch of Pokemon to his cave that reminds Ash why he's on this journey in the first place. For the love of the fucking game! And similarly, as he notices a stranded Spewpa on a branch, he goes in to save him, but the branch snaps, leaving him falling to his death if it wasn't for... Yes, sir! And he still dropped him. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And the Mastered Battle Bond transformation returned. And as Ash instructed him to bob and weave and dodge through the branches to retrieve the Spewpa, it seemed like they were low-key back. They shared a moment to reflect on what went wrong and how Ash was trying to do too much in the battles, with his judgment clouded from all of the L's, and he finished with a vow saying,
sorry 𝙏𝙖, I was tripping, buddy. Let's start again, from scratch.
A beautiful gesture that didn't just include this dap up under the moonlight, but also a beautiful reminder from 𝙏𝙖. Hold on, I think I'm about to choke up. The man rolled his Pokeball to him on the Pokemon Center floor, just like how he did for him on day 1.
As a reminder to never forget their roots. Oh my god.
It's so beautiful. And you know what happened, bruh. Nobody was beating them after that chemistry buff. Wolfreak was packed. Yes, sir. One spin back completed, and the next was right around the corner. The Kalos semi-final full battle that came down to 𝙏𝙖 versus Sawyer Sceptile. Winner moves on to the finals. 𝙏𝙖 slides in with that water shuriken, and Sceptile removes it with Dragon Claw. 𝙏𝙖 jumps in with double team, but Sceptile just frenzy plants that shit away. The two of them clash with Cut and Leaf Blade, and Ash decides to finally bring out the form. No water veil in sight, but Sceptile's got a form of his own now. Yes sir, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. The mega's been achieved. In comes the Frenzy Plant, and 𝙏𝙖 absolutely cuts through it. Water Shurikens met with another Dragon Claw, and the hand-to-hand combat begins. Ha! 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 Sceptile sends that boy flying to the sky with Leaf Storm and starts barraging him with another Frenzy Plant, forcing that boy to dodge, weave, duck, and everything in between. We are truly watching a master at work. Ash gets him to soar into the sky and pulls out the craziest double team we've seen so far. And wait a second, this low-key looks familiar. Alright, hold on, bro. I can't hold in this shit any longer. It's theory mode in this bitch. This motherfucker is literally Naruto. Frog, Frog, Ninja, Ninja. Shadow Clones, double team. Rasengan, Water Pulse. Rasen Shuriken, Water Shuriken. Leafy Village Lore, Leafy Village Lore. Waterfall Training Arc, Waterfall Training Arc. Loner Childhood, Loner Childhood. BUG Mode, Bond Phenomenon. Dark-haired, aura farming, misguided fire user rival with a random electric move. Are we fucking serious, Pokemon? No wonder this shit is peak. That boy sliced through this garden gecko, turned Komodo dragon, bombed the bitch. With that water Ross said shuriken, the dust settled, and boom! Sit your glazing ass down, Sawyer. Wow, that shit makes a nigga feel alive, bruh. Spun back on Wolfric, spun back on Sawyer, and now one more victim that deserves revenge. Third time's a charm, as they say, but that's for the finale of the Kalos trilogy. I promise it's coming soon. Sub up, noti up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'ma catch y'all very, very, very soon. Peace.
I hate a privileged rapper who don't even know what it takes. The diamonds they hit like a rainbow, that's cause the necklace of Frank.